I just wanted to take some time to go over the new leaked characters and give my thoughts preemptively about what to expect from them and expect with them, and where they're going to fit in the teams, and who I think they'll replace, why I think they'll replace them, um, and kind of what's going on. So we'll start with um, Shu Tsukiyama, Bloody Feast, as his name is showing. And then I will make a video and touch on Shinohara. So here we um, can't really trust the stats or the attribute. The attribute is going to be Psyche. He's going to be a light character. Um, but the stats are not going to be useful for us given what we see here, just because they vary a lot, even from level 1 to level 300. Like level 1, you can't even rank stats because they don't carry the same ranking all the way up once they're level 300. So, um, but what we see here is that he's labeled as Anteiku. How Chatmajo does these is he puts the skin of the abilities onto another character and gets all the abilities. So the type isn't always correct, especially for the carnival characters. But I'm not certain about the tag in this regard. So, like, he's certainly going to be an Anteiku and no org character, but we have to see when he releases whether he has one, both, or is interchangeable between these two tags. So let's get into it. So here we can only see the base skill. We don't get the ultra blood rage and whatever else comes with it. But overall, the single target damage is good for Anteiku. Kind of not what no org needs at this moment, assuming he's going to also be a no org character. A no org kind of needs, well, they need a lot to be functional, truthfully, but all good. So we see that Blood Rage is you increase your damage whenever you attack based on the buffs on yourself. So that'll be interesting in and of itself. Then this first ability is really good. Actually, all of these abilities are really good, but you see that it's on Takeu or no org, which leads me to believe that he's going to be both or switchable. Otherwise, if he's one or the other, he's clearly not going to fit in one of the two teams. But anyway, let's jump into it. So after an allied on Takeu or no organization character uses a skill, grant yourself 1 blood. If you have any buffs, gain an additional stack of blood up to 5 stacks. Upon reaching the maximum blood, makes the skill ignore target's damage taken reduction and inflicts breathless on the target for 2 turns, then remove all blood. So that's cool. I think in the next picture it shows what all these abilities do. So we blood we have whenever or when using an active skill to deal damage, inflicts extra damage equal to 5% of the damage dealt. So that in and of itself sounds like you're going to get up to 25% extra damage, kind of as we see how Flame Wing deals damage right now, where you attack and then there's damage after the fact. Breathless, we already know because that's what the Easter Ayato has, which is really cool to see this on, another organization's character. It's basically, it's not lethal, but it's kind of like lethal. It's an uncleansable version of lethal that isn't, like it's unavoidable and uncleansable. It's a gray debuff. And it doesn't stop you from healing, but it greatly impairs the healing that you do have. So that sucks. But it's good to see that that's not being left to only one faction. The next one, the group basic stat boost is really good. For each Anteiku or no organization character on the field, increase your basic stats by 4% up to 16%. And when all allied characters on the field are Anteiku or no organization, increase all allied characters' basic stats by 10%. So with Anteiku, this is great because it'll stack on top of the growing teenage girl, Hinami, and the Flamewing Touka abilities. So if I remember correctly, assuming he's Anteiku, that'll be a total of 30% to all basic stats from Touka, and then a total of 50%, like, because Hinami gives 20% to HP, so it'd be 50% in the HP category. So that's a huge buff for the whole team. Weak, applying weak increases attack by 10% for one turn. That's fine. That ability is just a nice little extra. Then his 3-star ability, upon reaching maximum blood, gain 15% crit rate, 30% crit damage, and 10% attack for 2 turns. That's really good. And then it sounds like it's stackable. I'm assuming it's not. I would assume that if this happens turn after turn, it just elongates more than it stacks. But that's really good. And then Power Burst boost, grant yourself 2 blood after Power Burst. And then it reiterates what blood is. Okay, so that's all we have. My thoughts are that given the current meta team of Owl, Flamewing, Anteiku, Growing Teen Girl, and Taciturn Warrior, what's going to happen is he would replace Owl, and then Owl would then go back into backup if you have Owl at a high enough rating that you unlock all of the back from backup buffs, and then Yomo would be off the team. Yomo might still stick around, but I don't know. It would take testing. The reason I say that is because Touka Kirishima, Anteiku, Touka Kirishima, Flamewing, and Hinami Fueguchi, Growing Teenage Girl, are the framework of the Anteiku team, and everything else is fitting in around it as best as possible. The reason I say that is because our past iteration of the Anteiku team were those 3 plus Rabbit on the front line and Owl in the back line or Renji Yomo, depending on what you have. So essentially, you need those 3. You can't get rid of any of the 3 of them. Hinami, her buffs and debuff cleansing are way too good. Also, she's just a tank. Her secondary stats are insane for all the defensive stuff. Flamewing, you can't get rid of Charm. You can't get rid of Charm. That's way too strong. Plus, God, everything else on that character, like Flamewing, is just an immensely powerful character. You cannot get rid of her. Touka Kirishima Anteiku, though her damage is not great, you can't get rid of her either. She makes you immune to debuffs, the red debuffs, not the gray ones, as long as you have a shield. On top of that, she gives you a shield each turn. On top of that, like, her struggle allows her to survive and deal damage and just stick around for way too long. It's just far too powerful. Because before, the mainstays were Flamewing and Growing Teenage Girl. But yeah, you can't get rid of Anteiku. You can't think of her as a damage character. That's not how she really operates. Her passives are way too good to remotely remove her. It's just how it is. If you take her off, the team goes into the tubes. I mean, you can even see that by the simple fact that whenever she was released, you subbed out from the so going back, God, what, 2 months, 3 months at this point? Whenever Flamewing and Growing Teenage Girl came out, I think it was February. So I think around Valentine's Day. Yeah, probably Valentine's Day. Once those 2 came out, Anteiku rose to the top and was able to be competitive. And the team that myself and my friend Neos Kaneki came up with was kind of a joke, but it ended up working immensely, was Flame Wing, Touka Kirishima, Christmas Hinami Fueguchi, Growing Teenage Girl Hinami Fueguchi, Rabbit Touka Kirishima, and Renji Yomo Taciturn Warrior backup, or somebody else, like I would use Combat Ken, etc., just depending on what was going on. And they were not the top team, but they were very competitive. They were easily second, and except against the like very best Aogiri teams, they could take it, even going second. Um, so then we jump forward to Star Effects being released. Anteiku got a massive nosedive. Rabbit's damage fell off really hard. Christmas Hinami's damage fell off really hard. And the double AoE wasn't working like it used to because all these shields were around. And the shields, I can't tell you exactly how they operate, but the shields seem to ignore crit damage. They ignored the extra damage that would come from Flame Wing and her passive of what is it, Adoration, where the opponent takes extra damage after they're hit. Like it just ate all that up. Crit rates went way down, and it just really killed the team. So then the team transitioned from that to once Sen Takatsuki came out, my friend Hiro started running. God, he took off Christmas Hinami and put in Sen Takatsuki, and then I think it was Rabbit. Yeah, it was just that same team. You pull out Christmas Hinami and you drop in Sen, and you run with it. And then your backup could vary based on whoever you wanted, but it was a glass cannon team. Your team, you went second. Your team couldn't really survive; they'd die. Just it was not a great time, but it was functional. But the win loss rate went way up, and they couldn't compete like they used to. Then we get Anteiku, and the team just goes back to just being this immensely tanky, like undamageable team again. So just based on that flow of team meta, you can tell which characters must remain, and based on how pivotal they were on the team or for the team when they came out. So that being said, and despite Owl's LR exclusive cell, I think he's going to be the most replaceable. Um, Now the difference is you shove him to backup. If you have him high enough ranking, you have all those passive abilities that he gives, and then you put Shu in the front, and when someone dies, Owl comes in and does the Owl thing. But of course, it'll take some playtesting. We'll have to see. But those are my thoughts. We have to see the character in action. I'll do my best to do a showcase video. The game hasn't really been very giving in resources lately, so I don't have a lot of carnival tickets. I don't have a lot of diamonds. I don't have a lot of Panacean cells or star up crystals. Like, so we'll see what happens. But those are my thoughts. Um, I probably won't be able to showcase a 6-star first day like I did with Yamari when I went in with 350 tickets and 15 star up crystals, and was able to 6-star him almost immediately. But I'll do my best and I'll show you guys. And then if anybody gets into 6 stars and is able to show them off, like I'll get with them and we'll test and see what's going on. But yeah, let me know what you think below. I think he's really good. I I don't know. I have mixed feelings. Definitely not the carnival I was expecting, especially being no org and on Teku. That's a little bit wild, but I don't know. I think it'll be good. And I mean, if not, we'll see him get buffed like we did with God, Doji Makai. So